This is why I stream late too, so that I can make all my adjustments. Okay. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. All right. Thank you all for confirming in the chat. You can see me, you can hear me. I'm about to get started as soon as I feel that I am decent, balanced, and presentable. I think I'm almost there. This necklace is not cooperating tonight. Whoa. Hello, Toby. Welcome. Hello, friends. Hello, Kuchunga. Hello, Javi. We're just about to get started. Let me just adjust my shirt who's all over the place. Hello, Dave James. All right. So nice to have people in the live chat. So let me go ahead and get started because it seems like I'm not going to get it perfect tonight, but I gotta just feel that it's good enough. Right, I'm centered. Welcome to my sparkly corner of the internet. I'm Shine, and this is Divine Shine Tarot with another celebrity reading, live stream. Tonight I'm doing a mini special of readings, looking into a few female tennis champs, including Coco Gauff, Naomi Osaka, the GOAT, Serena Williams. Later, I'll also be doing readings on who will win the NBA Finals between the Knicks and the Spurs. What's the energy between Jay-Z and Drake after they've recently exchanged musical disses? A heavily requested reading on Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas. And pop star Dua Lipa just got married. We'll see what the cards say about the energy between her and her now husband, Callum Turner. And maybe I'll pull a few cards for any of you on the stream with me that have any celebrity questions if I have energy at the end. So, for those that will watch the replay on YouTube, timestamps and link to book... Wait, hold on. The deck is active. The deck wants to talk. Looking forward to these readings tonight. One more time. For those of you that will watch the replay on YouTube, timestamps and link to book a reading are down below. I do celebrity readings for fun, but my passion is actually helping real people like yourself. So consider booking a reading. If you'd like to see a specific celebrity reading, you can attach your request to a donation. But the best support is free. So hit that like button and subscribe so that I can continue sharing these celebrity and horoscope readings with you. Okay, now let's get started with the readings. On lives, I try to just do brief readings, not deep dives, since I do so many different readings at once. I'll give background before each reading while I shuffle for me to connect with the energy of each person and also to give you context. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. Okay, so let's get started with Corey Dion, better known as Coco Gauff. Corey was this weekend defending her championship at the French Open, the Roland Garros over there in Paris, and unfortunately, she was not able to keep her position. She lost to someone, but more memorable was last year when she won the championship at the French Open. The now number one in the world of tennis, Sabalenka, threw a fit. She was quite a sore loser, and Naomi Osaka actually played her today and unfortunately lost. So I guess Sabalenka won't be throwing a fit this year. But it was memorable that Sabalenka tried to kind of minimize Coco's win last year, and I guess because that was such a hard-earned championship in the French Open, it meant a lot to Coco to try to defend that title this year. It seemed like the nerves got the best of her and she was not able to come out victorious in her last match against I forget who. But Coco is still one of the leading female tennis stars at this time. Someone to definitely keep our eyes on as the season proceeds. I believe now they are switching over to the grass court season. And we will see how Coco performs in the upcoming tournaments. There's something going on, I think, in Berlin where we might see the GOAT, Serena, return, and then Wimbledon over there in the UK. So I thought it would still be interesting to see what the cards have to say about Coco. We can see what is to come for her. And I also was pleasantly surprised to see that she's been in a relationship dating a guitarist in Atlanta named Jalen Sarah. So Jalen is 23. He is a Taurus, a musician and aspiring actor, while Coco Gauff... Oh, wait. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Javi. Coco Gauff lost to Anastasia Potapova. Yes, the Austrian. Is that right? Let's see. Thank you for that, Javi. See, my chat is on it. My chat comes with the data. Thank you. Yes, so it looks like Coco lost this weekend to Anastasia, unfortunately, but she will still be someone to watch as the tennis season progresses. So as I was saying, it seems that Coco has been dating Jalen Sarah for over 3 years now. This is an Atlanta-based guitarist, musician, and aspiring actor. He is 23, he is a Taurus, and Coco is 22. She is a Pisces. So we'll keep an eye out to see if we see any cards that say anything about their relationship. But since they're relatively young, we could just imagine that they're having fun, they're enjoying their companionship and partnership in private, since it did come up in the notes that... Let me see. I lost the vision of my notes. There we go. Since the research I did said that Gauff enjoys dating someone who is completely outside the tennis world. So they enjoy a low-key romance out of the tennis spotlight. Now, let's see what the cards have to say about Corey, Dion, Coco Gauff, Spirit. What's to come for Coco Gauff? What can we see from her performance-wise for the rest of this outdoor tennis season? Or what can we see to come in her love life? She certainly seems to be very athletic, very outspoken, very energized, and somewhat not making examples, but there were certain things that she had to speak out about. I think there was an instance earlier this year at the Australian Open where she was frustrated in the backstage, and so she threw the racket somewhere, and that footage was released when it shouldn't have been. That should be a private moment that the athlete has to be able to let off some steam backstage, instead of using that to create a narrative that, you know, they're throwing a tantrum or something. So she had to speak out about things like that. I think the previous year she had experienced some racial tension around her French Open win, which should come as no surprise, since we also saw the GOAT Serena Williams and her sister Venus deal with some of that over there in Europe as well. So unfortunately, it seems like there is still a lot of progress that needs to be made over there for them to be more accepting and respectful of champion athletes of all races. But Coco definitely has lent her voice to that cause and set quite an example of being a threat through her talent, not because of any genetic advantages. If that's the fear of people that, you know, create racial tensions in their mind. But let's go ahead and see, what do the cards have to say about Corey, Dion, Gauff. Spirit, let's get a few cards out for Coco Gauff. It seemed like this wanted to come out. Uh-oh. Should I keep this? I will, but I'm going to keep shuffling because I kind of wanted to split the deck. So this Ace of Swords indicates some dishonesty, some lies, some lack of truth, or a lack of power. We'll see what cards follow that to get some more clarity. Spirit, what can you tell me about Coco Gauff? What is this dishonesty that she may face? Is this about something about how a match is called, some unfairness that she may have to deal with? Is this about something in her relationship? What is this about? Let's get some clarity on what message the Spirit has about Coco Gauff. Let's get a few cards out, Spirit. gee, we're starting off. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have here the Eight of Wands. This is fast action, high energy, movement, and travel. So I'm going to get some additional context because since it's coming after this honesty card, I'm not sure if this is saying something about the match. Like maybe she's going to be in a competition and things are moving so fast that it's not called right, or if this is about something in her personal life. Oh, wait, I'm missing some of the messages. Thank you, Javi. Let me switch. It's because I had my notes covering the chats. Let's see. Stella, hello, thank you. Thank you for the love. Do you see my little tennis detail? I'm doing readings on some fabulous tennis ladies, so I tried to kind of pull the theme through in all of the little details. Thank you so much. You guys are so kind, and I love your attention to detail too. Okay, so continuing with this, let's see what is coming for Coco Gauff. Uh-oh, not a fall from grace. Yikes. This Six of Wands indicates a lack of public recognition. So maybe there is something that she's working towards and she's not going to get the fairness or the justice of... Oh, let's see, Stella. Ooh. Okay, Stella's asking, I wonder if the cards have any insight on what in the world is happening on the men's side of the French Open. Right, because the contenders, the defenders, I should say, the people that won last year, they actually got eliminated early. So men's tennis is definitely not looking as strong as, I guess, women's tennis, because so far the number one, Sabalenka, she is dominating as expected, but things are happening in reverse in the men's tennis. So maybe I can pull some cards out for that after. How great that you're interested, Stella. So nice to have you. So as I was saying here with this Six of Wands that came out in reverse for this reading that I'm doing on Coco Gauff, it seems like there's going to be a situation where she unfairly is not going to get the recognition that she seeks or that she deserves. There's going to be a call that doesn't go her way, and it's like an injustice somehow. There's a lack of truth to it. Things moving fast, using that as an excuse to say, well, we didn't see that clearly. Perhaps even this could be something about a lie, like some gossip that impacts her image, or something to do with a loss that is unfair for Coco. So let me get some additional information. The World card, interesting. This is the second card that we're getting in this spread that indicates something about travel, since we did see this Eight of Wands upright. But the World card also indicates completion and achievement. So it seems like if there is some event that causes Coco to temporarily be knocked off of a pedestal, whether it's fake news or a misunderstanding, a manipulation of some truth, some half-truths, whatever it is, it seems like it will be rectified. She will still come out on top. She will still end with a sense of achievement and accomplishment. Alternatively, this could also say something about her wanting to end something. Maybe she's done with performing in a certain part of the Grand Slam. Like maybe she doesn't want to go back to France, or maybe she wants to leave early this season. I don't know how it works. Like if you sign up or if you have to qualify to be a part of the Grand Slams. I know that Wimbledon and the Open are left, US Open are left. So I don't know if it's like you have to go through all of them to get to the next, if it's one after the other as a qualifier, or if she can just say, I'm not doing this one, I'm going to do that one. Maybe she's going to pick and choose because of some event that's going to happen that sort of has a underhanded, sneaky intention to discredit her, to make her look bad, to give her a fall from grace. But it seems like she will still come out on top on the other side of that. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we have the Three of Swords here indicating a recovery from some sort of heartbreak, betrayal, or disappointment. So this could also be forgiveness if Coco Gauff were to beat herself up about something, it seems like she will come to terms with the reality and not beat herself up about it too much longer. This is about healing. So, indeed, whatever infraction Coco Gauff endures that impacts her public image or her brand or her status as a top competitor in female tennis, it seems like she will, of course, be knocked off temporarily, but come out on the other side with a victory. So that's either winning a match, winning another trophy, winning some accomplishment or achievement that contributes to her healing and getting over on the other side of whatever this is. Ooh, wait a minute now. 8 of Cups. So because we did see this world card earlier that also gave a sense of coming to the end of something. Now that we're seeing this 8 of Cups, walking away from something that one once loved, something that no longer serves you, even though you had perhaps a lot of connection to this. So it could be her career or it could be her relationship, since it's the Suit of Cups, which is about emotion and personal love. So it seems like Coco's gonna decide to either take a break from her relationship or maybe even take a break from tennis. I wonder, because she's so young at the age of 22. This is definitely no time to bow out gracefully. That's unnecessary. Maybe whatever this event is, this untruthful event that seeks to sort of put a dent in her image, her public image or recognition, does not recognize her for something that she did or she accomplished. That ego bruise that she might feel may turn her off so much that she wants to either remove herself from a tournament, remove herself from a match, remove herself from something that she actually cared about. Yikes. So let's see what else we have here. The Empress. Uh-oh, please don't get pregnant, Coco. Please. The Empress card. She is the divine feminine. She is the goddess of fertility, creativity, and beauty. She is the one who attracts abundance and is very fruitful and nurturing. But usually when I see these Empress cards pop up in my celebrity readings, it could indicate about a pregnancy, someone who is pregnant, or perhaps even a motherly figure. So since it's upright, that's a positive, but I'm hoping this is not saying that because she gets pregnant with her current partner, Jalen Sarah, the musician, aspiring actor in Atlanta, that she has to take a break from her career. No, don't do it, Coco. You can always have the babies later. I mean, babies are cute and adorable and all that, but you got to strike while the iron's hot with your career. So I'm hoping that this is just trying to say something about your character, that maybe she's just a very warm and nurturing person. As a Pisces, she can probably give that in her social output, as they say. Pisces can be very gregarious and social, so maybe it's trying to say something about that, of her being a really warm, caring, nurturing, and supportive person, as the Empress card indicates. Or if she's in this energy of abundance and creativity, maybe she's looking to focus on other things outside of tennis. Maybe she may be looking to create something else. Let me check my notes here. I think she had some business deals with, I might be confusing that with Osaka. Well, just like most athletes, most top athletes, she has a bunch of brand deals. So maybe she wants to go and do something on her own, but I hope it's not a pregnancy, Coco. All right, let's get another card out. Oh no! 10 of Swords. Yikes. This is a painful ending. This is something that is so dead and that one needs to move on from. But of course, that's hard to see until you have the hindsight to be like, yeah, 2020 vision. If I put more time into that, more effort, more energy, whatever it is, then I will only continue to lose and continue to be in pain. So I wonder what this is. It seemed like we did get a lot of cards in here indicating something about Coco's career or a specific match, a specific tournament that may be a little unfair for her. It may be called a certain way, or there may be some event that happens that makes her look bad temporarily. But this looks like either, as we were seeing earlier, either the relationship comes to an end, the little boyfriend she has, Or this may be her bowing out, retiring from a match or one of the tournaments for some reason. She may feel that she would be better off focusing on something else. I also want to point out that the Empress card, because it has so much nature around it, maybe it could be saying something about the grass court season, just something to keep in the back of our minds as we see how things unfold. So whatever this painful ending is, it's necessary for Coco to sever ties with this. Otherwise, she's just going to continue to be drained. As painful as it is, she has to cut her losses. And it seems like she has some repeating messages about endings and moving on. So let's just get some final cards out here. Okay, needing to surrender, needing to put in the work, keep your routines, keep grinding. Let me see what the bottom of the deck say. Ooh, oh no, oh no, oh no. Do I want to accept these? Yikes, oh no, oh no. Oh my. Yeah, Well, okay, I think I'll just pause it here. Okay. So we got a lot of final cards here, actually, more than I usually get, but I saw a story unfold that I felt that I should just incorporate just in case it's indeed saying something. So with this Hangman card, this is a suggestion that one needs to sacrifice and surrender in order to change their perspective, in order to allow the universe or external forces to unfold as they must or as they may, and that will allow one to have a change of plans or a change of their approach. This is about relinquishing control. And then we have this Knight of Pentacles card indicating that one needs to be on their grind. This is about someone that's responsible, diligent, methodical. This is about routine and someone that's conservative, consistent, and getting it done. So I guess this could, at this point, be indicating something about focus on career, maybe cutting off the boyfriend if that is a distraction, or there may be someone or something that is a distraction that she has to move away from and cut off in order for her to focus on work, focus on her grind, focus on her coins. You know, the coins are very important, especially since we see this Five of Pentacles card indicating some sort of financial hardships, struggles, or setbacks. This is about someone experiencing loss either in their finances or their health. I wonder what that could be. Since we did see the Ten of Swords earlier, it could also be that someone might pass away due to an illness. But let's continue here with the rest of the cards. We have the Justice card in reverse, repeating this idea that I got in the earlier cards about some sort of injustice, some unfairness. This could also indicate a lack of balance, as we usually see the scales of justice. And this could be a warning that if there is someone, either Coco or someone in Coco's life, that has to experience negative karma, that unfortunately it is not going to find them yet. So someone might be getting away with something when we see that Justice card in reverse. Final few cards we have here, Strength card in reverse. So whatever events unfold temporarily will cause Coco to feel either doubtful, like self-doubt. So this is about being a little insecure. Strength could also point to what we saw here about her health. So could it possibly be an injury? Maybe that's why we're seeing the Strength card in reverse, and maybe that's why she would have to remove herself from a match or a series or some tournaments and maybe pivot into focusing on a different stream of income, since she might have to temporarily come out of her current season of playing if the injuries are that bad. Oh no, I'm starting to see it. Yeah, because we have this card about healing. We have this card that when you see the 10 daggers in someone's spine, it could literally be someone experiencing some sort of physical pain and defeat. We have this card about health. We have several cards indicating walking away, coming to the end of something painfully, injustice, unfairness, imbalance. Things are moving so fast, and that's how she gets injured. Oh no, Coco. I hope not. I'm so sorry to see it. I hope this is not true. I hope it's not accurate. I am just a tarot reader reading the cards to entertain my beautiful community and to keep my tools sharp, to keep on practicing the meanings of the cards, as I do love this spiritual practice. So to wrap it up here, because I could keep on going for a long time. Gosh, there's just, I mean, I do want to keep some positives to wrap it up though. So let me, yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, I can go forever with this. So even if she does get injured, it seems like she's going to hold on for a while. She's going to push it as much as she can. This is the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands. And yeah, Stella said, no, Coco, this is looking so grim for her. I know, I didn't expect to see this. I'm so sorry to see it. I mean, I did kind of see that she was mentally affected in that last match where she got eliminated. I saw the mental defeat before the actual points came down in terms of the final score. So there is definitely some internal conflict she may be dealing with. Gosh, I'm trying to, sorry guys, I'm struggling with my top today. I'm trying to, it's like I can't win because if I put this button, it's like so strained. But then if I open it, then it's like, you know, I gotta protect my decency. So anyway, with this 9 of Wands indicating that she is a wounded warrior, this is like the 3rd or 4th card in this spread that indicates something about a potential injury. And she's trying to hold on to make it to the end, since the 9 comes right before the 10. The 10 is the end of the suit. Trying to make it to the end, trying to persevere, trying to be strong, trying to withstand all of these battles, all of these matches, all of this strain around an injury. But it seems like she can only hold on but for so long. And then we have, she's not going to want to talk about it with this Page of Swords in reverse. They don't want to make the announcement. This could also be someone that is a bad communicator, someone that is deceptive. So they use their words in a bit of a manipulative way, someone that is an immature thinker. So that's why they're not good with their communication. But either way, it's going to be something that they don't want to disclose until the very, very end. They don't want to let the public know that she's going to be injured until, gee, I hope she doesn't like over injure herself. If you withstand an injury and you're like keeping a secret, you don't let the people know because you don't want to bow out gracefully yet, then maybe you can prolong the injury and make it worse, then it turns chronic. Oh no, you need to rest, Coco, with this 4 of Swords. Rest and recovery is going to be essential. It seems like it's going to be forced after that experience. You will have no choice. You will have to give up with the 7 of Wands. You will have to bow out gracefully after all, because some things are not worth the fight. Some things are not going to be worth your health. You don't want to compromise your health now and jeopardize the future of your career, especially at such a young age. So unfortunately, it does seem like this is going to be a rough season for Coco, but it does turn around. She does get on her business. She does get about her coins with this 3 of Pentacles. So she will indeed pivot, as we saw indicated with that Empress card. She will pivot into some other business avenues. Her brand will still be viable, so she could still squeeze a coin out from that. And she will be starting new things that she loves, new things that she's passionate about. With this Page of Wands and the Page of Cups. So whatever curiosity she may have, I know Naomi Osaka at this time, she's very into the fashions, as we used to see from Serena Williams as well. So maybe there is some other hobby that Coco would like to explore outside of tennis. So she will have the opportunity to do that while still having pretty good business connects. So we wish the well for Coco. I hope that you are in good health. I hope you actually have a great season. I hope that these cards are wrong and you actually get out there and win a couple of championships, a couple of matches, and have a good one. We wish Coco well. So let's see, before I clean this up, Let's see if there's any questions. Yeah, not looking good for, not the best, but at least at the end we see the fresh start of something that she's going to be very excited about and really in love with. Or if it was a breakup, then it could be new love as well with this Page of Cups. So time will tell. Now let's switch into Naomi. Oh, Stella, you have a good point. Yes, because I was about to jump into a reading on Naomi, but I should also include Sabalenka since she is currently the world #1 in female tennis, and she definitely won that game today in straight sets. So would also be interesting to see what the cards have to say about her. And I'm going to try to stop myself a little earlier because when I pull too many cards, then it's the readings get so long that then I can't do the other ones for tonight. So in order to slip in that Sabalenka one, I'm just going to try to cap my readings to 12 cards. It's just that sometimes I see, you know, one card leads to another and it starts to tell more of a story. You see, I didn't even see the injury portion until we got like 15 cards deep. So let's see if I can limit myself so that I can get more readings in for you guys. All right, so let's switch into this reading on Naomi, and then we will do a reading on Sabalenka. So Naomi Osaka, born in Osaka, Japan. How perfect is that? She is 28. She is a Libra. There were some... Let's see. I can't see my notes. One second. Let me move this over. Yes, here we go. So Naomi Osaka, born in Osaka, Japan, she relocated to Long Island, New York at age 3 and later moved to Florida to train. She was highly criticized and it was heavily debated back in the French Open 2021 when she did not participate in post-match press because she was looking to protect her mental health. That year, the French Open fined her, and then she withdrew from it completely. So seeing her return to the French Open this year, I believe she was in the previous year as well, was really great to see her kind of getting on the other side of some of those mental health and depression struggles, as Osaka has been highly transparent about her experiences with long bouts of depression and severe social anxiety in the past, particularly when forced to interact with the media or larger crowds. Off the court, she runs her own media company, Hana Kuma, and a skincare line called Kinlo. She is currently single, although she does have one daughter named Shai, who is turning 3 years old this July. The father of her daughter is Corday, a rapper that she was dating since 2019. So they welcomed their baby in 2023, and in January 2025, unfortunately, they announced that they were separating, but they were committed to co-parenting. So while she took a break to have her baby and work on her mental health issues, it seems that she has returned this year to all of the top tennis matches relatively good, relatively strong mentally, so it seems from the outside. And of course, that has not softened the criticisms because she has been heavily criticized for her outfits. She arrives to the matches like in the Australian Open and right now in the French Open with memorable or remarkable outfits, and it seems like she's just keeping people bothered. I see nothing wrong with it. As you see, I love flair and fashion and self-expression, but some people in that world feel that one should be more conservative, since tennis is one of those more conservative, upper crusty, elitist. Some would say that it's elitist. I play tennis, so not that I'm not fancy, of course. I'm a fancy gal, but but we know the vibes. We know the energy around some of those sports like tennis, like golf, where it can have some racial tensions and some classism. So I guess because of that, there's a certain expectation of the presentation of the athletes to be more traditional, classic, conservative. And Naomi Osaka, similar to Serena Williams in the past, is keeping her voice and letting her express herself through her outfits. It also seems to be that she has a deal with Nike. She said that they actually plan her outfits a year and a half in advance, and she goes for all these fittings. So for her, it's a big deal, and she likes to show it off, and the press just eat it up with all of their criticisms. And it's nice to see that she is now mentally strong enough to not let it bother her. But with all that background, it will be interesting to see what is to come for Naomi. While she has been eliminated from the French Open, the grass court season is just getting started right after this. So let me just do a bridge shuffle here and see what the cards have to say for Naomi. Okay. Actually, let me take a quick look to make sure I'm on all platforms still. Yeah, looks like I'm good. Multi-streaming is not easy, but okay. I'm gonna give you guys a little heart over here. Heart over here. I'm still on the red. I'm still on the purple. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's get started on this reading for Naomi Osaka. Spirit, what is to come for Naomi Osaka? Let's hear about her career or her love life. What is going on for Naomi? Gosh, it really bothers me to see that my collar's all over the place. Come on, man. I'm trying. Okay. All right. The satin looks so pretty on the camera, but it's also kind of like, it's not as cooperative as some other fabrics. So, all right, Spirit, what is to come for Naomi Osaka? What can you tell us about Naomi Osaka, Spirit? She recently had a match today against the world number 1 from Belarus, Aryna Sabalenka, or Aryna, maybe I'm saying that wrong. Please forgive me. Who is 28. She's a Taurus. We'll do a reading on Aryna Sabalenka right after this. But let's focus on Naomi Osaka. What's to come for Naomi Osaka, Spirit? What is to come for Naomi Osaka? I was really rooting for her today against Sabalenka. She started off strong in the first few sets, but in the first few games. It's late where I'm at, so sometimes, oh, did that pop out? Uh-oh. Let's see. All right, so we start here with the 3 of Wands in reverse, indicating some sort of blockages or obstructions to one's growth and expansion. This also has something to do with international commerce and business. So there's something that Naomi may be trying to do internationally that she will experience some roadblocks and blockages. One would expect, since she is a pro athlete going from country to country for all of these tournaments, that this may have something to do with that, but let's get some clarification. Oh, interesting. We're seeing the 4 of Swords again, as we just saw in the Coco Gauff reading, indicating a need for rest and recovery. This usually indicates that one's mental health may be nearing the point of burnout, and they need to take a break. They may be doing too much. They need to take a chill pill. So let's see. Not literally, of course, figuratively, no pills. I do not condone any drug use. Got to say those things because these days the internets are getting very sensitive, especially for new creators like myself. Like, there's so much censorship. They'll like knock down your video for anything. So unfortunately, I have to keep it very PG, very delicate with the wording. Okay, so then we have the 5 of Wands, and this indicates competition and conflict. Interesting. So naturally, as a pro athlete, you are a competitor, no stranger to that. But resting and recovering mentally from competition and conflicts, particularly arising out of some sort of blockage and obstruction to Naomi's growth and expansion. I wonder if this is internal conflict, perhaps, that's not allowing her to grow. And maybe there's a level of frustration that she feels like maybe I need to take another break. Maybe not, because it seems from the outside looking in, it seems like she's been in good spirits this season, but I guess time will tell. Okay, am I centered? Okay. This is bothering me here. Sorry, guys. Gotta keep adjusting. So the next card we have here is actually about socializing and celebrations with this Three of Cups upright. So maybe this is actually a part of what Naomi needs at this time to rest and restore. It's probably a break from work while filling her cup with loved ones, with social activities and outings. Maybe that is part of the internal conflict, is that she is meant to kind of redirect some of her focus to socializing. Wait a minute. I just remember not too long ago, a few weeks ago, Naomi hosted a dinner for other Black athletes, and there was, of course, a lot of commentary about that online. This is stressing me out. Hold on. Why is this so... Okay. Just want to get it right. Okay. I just wanted to stay. I didn't do this before. I've worn this top on the... I've worn this blouse on the stream before, and it was a lot more cooperative, so I don't know why it's so problematic today. Okay, so this could be pointing to some conflicts around a recent social event that got a lot of online criticism when Naomi Osaka hosted a dinner for other Black tennis athletes. And maybe this card is encouraging her to continue in that direction, to continue to sort of be a leader, creating spaces for herself and other athletes that look like her or are in that kind of culture like her, being mixed with Japanese and Black, having roots in Japan as well as in the United States. I'm sure that it is nice for her, comforting for her and other people like her to share and commune in certain spaces together. So maybe this is saying that despite the conflict, I keep saying Coco. Despite the conflict, Naomi should continue in that direction. But since we started off with this Three of Wands indicating some sort of blockages and obstructions to growth, I wonder what that could be about. Ooh, now we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is about work-life imbalance. Someone that may be very smothering and nagging as well. Like instead of being nurturing, you're overdoing it with how you care for people. It is, as I said, smothering and nagging. When we look at the financial interpretations of this card, it could be that someone is maybe letting a few of their financial responsibilities slip because of the work-life imbalances, maybe focusing too much on work and not enough on personal life, as we saw sort of indicated up here, or vice versa, maybe focusing too much on one's personal things and not enough on the work. Let's see. Ooh, now we're really talking about the finances. So this is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this is about a scarcity mentality. There is such a fear of loss that one is holding on to their coins so much that it is actually creating a energy that may work against someone. So this could trickle into greediness, selfishness, definitely not investing in oneself if needed. And that could actually give a little more color to that first card, the Three of Wands that we saw in reverse. So I wonder what that could be, because I just imagine that financially, since she has been an athlete for so long, that she should be good, especially since she has her other businesses, her skincare line and media company, and all of her brand deals, including the Nike, which does her whimsical outfits. So I wonder what could that be? Maybe someone's not paying her right. Someone might be playing with her money. Could it be not a parental figure, but someone that is in management, a female, a feminine, that maybe is not the best at managing Naomi's finances? It could be Naomi herself. What's Naomi's sign again? Let me scroll up. Oh, she's a Libra. She's an air sign. Yeah, there's something funny with the money here. Let me get a little more information about that. Ooh, yeah. Imbalance. We're seeing with this Temperance card in reverse. Imbalance and impatience. This is also someone that maybe lets their emotions get the best of them, and instead of mediating things in a balanced way, they perhaps go too far off in one direction, too emotional with their delivery or too rigid with their delivery. Since we did see this card earlier indicating work-life imbalance and we're seeing it double down, then it does indeed seem that there is some area of Naomi Osaka's life that's being neglected, and it seems like it has something to do with financials. I don't know if it's her herself that maybe isn't managing her finances right, or there may be someone that she has hired to be responsible for that they're not doing the best job. But seems like she's gonna come to realize that, as they, what I'm hearing is the books are off. Like there's something off with either she was supposed to be paid this much but she gets paid that much, or there's something with the business finances or the taxes or something. But this imbalance may come to be revealed, or it may be a financial concern for Naomi Osaka at this time, which is creating these blockages. Okay, Knight of Cups, upright. So this is someone that can be very charming, very fanciful in terms of believing in a romanticized view of life, someone that is intuitive. This could also be a proposal. So maybe after discovering something wrong financially, there may be either a business proposal that helps rectify things, like maybe Naomi Osaka ends up hiring someone better, or maybe this could have something to do with love as well, since the Knight of Cups is a Prince Charming figure, and this could indicate that she finds someone that pulls her into a swept off her feet romance, sort of. So I wonder, could be a water sign, or it could be something related to the business, a change in leadership for her business because of some financial lapse that they discover. Stella said the French Open lowered the percent that players earn this year. Oh, could that be the issue? Interesting. Okay, there could be something to that, right? It is not cheap to travel around as an athlete, to compete. I imagine, of course, the more you win, the more you get paid. But if she just got eliminated, it's like things add up. Things get expensive. King of Swords, upright. So this is about someone who is a strategist, someone who is very wise, very experienced. So this could be an advisor, since we did say that an alternative meaning to this Knight of Cups could be a proposal of someone new, perhaps taking over the role of whoever this financial manager or advisor was that wasn't doing a good job. So it seems like maybe someone better will come and step into that role, and someone more senior, someone more honest, as the King of Swords indicates. But this is also an air sign card, so it could be Naomi herself, that Naomi herself steps into. That was my chair, by the way. Hold on. Trying to get comfortable. As I start doing my readings, my leg falls asleep. So let me switch my positioning here. It could be that some events happen for Naomi Osaka to wisen up herself and to be able to step into more leadership, more responsibility for some other attributes of her business. I mean, that's pretty hard as an athlete that is traveling all over the world and doing so many things. So it could be an advisor in her life, someone that she hires or that comes along to help with whatever's going wrong here financially, whatever conflict she's having, so that she can free up and go focus on her socials. Interesting that we're seeing this again. We saw this card in the previous reading I just did on Coco Gauff as well. And this Six of Wands in reverse indicates a lack of recognition as well as a fall from grace. This could also indicate ego-driven moves that don't work out for someone. So I am once again feeling like it's someone that she's working with that may have been mismanaging her finances due to their ego. But also this could be saying that Naomi Osaka is impacted by something, maybe a loss, something in the games and the tournaments that she's going to be playing may contribute to this lack of recognition, fall from grace temporarily. Wow, did I shuffle properly enough? Because we're getting so many cards that are repeating from the previous. We're seeing this Seven of Wands in reverse, indicating one that is looking to give up because the attacks are too great. It's too many battles, too many things to focus on. So giving up because some battles are not worth the trouble. I hope she's not also going to withdraw. I was using the word retire in the Coco Gauff reading, but I meant withdraw. So I hope Naomi's not going to withdraw for some reason, but it looks like there's going to be some loss and disappointment and a bruise to Naomi Osaka's ego that's going to cause her to give up on something, like withdraw from a match, or perhaps this could have something to do with some other business dealings that she has going on. Okay, but she's going to put the work in. Look at that. We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is about apprenticeship. This is about, wait, let me say that again. This is about apprenticeship. This is about education. This is about getting on the details and being an artisan, being very particular about the evolution of some pursuit of knowledge or some skill set. So indeed, there may be some other business that Naomi Osaka may be working on, but it may be very motivated by some financial loss. So she may be trying to make up for something financially with some new venture that she's going to pour herself into, especially after withdrawing from something or losing some tournament. And I'm not going to accept that Strength card and the Moon card again. Oh no, let me not accept those either. I think I didn't finish shuffling enough. I'll accept this last card here. Well, actually, no. Let's keep both of these. We have the Nine of Cups in reverse, indicating getting what one wished for, but they turn out not to love it. So this is some sort of disappointment that Naomi Osaka may experience. And we got a sense of that here as well. Disappointment either in some competition not going as she wanted, as she wished, some business dealing that she really wanted not working out as she expected or wished. But then we see the Devil card in reverse, indicating a release of attachments, a release from addictions, vices, any sort of bad habits or people with bad intentions. Looks like Naomi is going to step away from that and focus on something new, something better, especially after experiencing this dissatisfaction or disappointment. So it remains to be seen what it is. The most exciting card we saw here was the Knight of Cups in terms of if it's a new love for her. Maybe she'll start focusing more on her personal life instead of the business, kind of give the business career stuff a break so that she can focus on enjoying her life a little more, since it seems like there's going to need to be a overhaul in the financials of her business. So I wish Naomi well. I was hoping to see more indications of victories for the coming season, but unfortunately, looks like similar to Coco, Naomi's going to have other things to deal with. So let's see what the chat is saying, and we'll switch off into the next reading. Let's see, is everyone still visible? All right. Thanks for still being with me. Oh gosh, okay. Wait, am I still connected? I'm not seeing one of my chats. YouTube, hello. Are we still on? Let me make sure I can see you guys. Okay. Oh, if Toby, turn that frown upside down, sister. I know times are hard for everyone, girl, but at least we have each other. F. Toby, I hope you're still here. I hope maybe something about the readings tonight helps get your mind off of things. It's always nice to have you in the chat. Okay. All right, so now let's switch off into a reading on Aryna Sabalenka. I hope I'm saying her name right. Aryna Sabalenka. Okay. Got really hot in here. Let me just hydrate real quick. Okay. I really want to get a good shuffle this time because I saw too many repeating cards in the previous reading, and I want to make sure there is no additional influence on the cards that we get. Oh, wait. One more thing here. Okay. There we go. All right, that should be enough. Spirit, what is to come for world #1 female tennis player Aryna Sabalenka? Aryna is 28. She is a Taurus. Fun fact, she actually shares the same birthday as Chris Brown. She is a May 5th Taurus. Cinco de Mayo. She has played Osaka 3 times overall, twice of which were this year. And she won both, but now we can add a third win to that since Sabalenka, since Sabalenka beat Naomi in their 4th match today at the French Open. So let's see what the cards have to say about what's to come for Sabalenka. We start off with the Moon card in reverse, indicating that there is some illusion. This is about fears, anxieties, some secrets, some lack of truthful information that is causing one to be anxious or paranoid. Okay, what could that be about, Sabalenka? Whoa, tough decisions. Tough decisions that were made in advance, and then the outcome is favorable or peaceful. Uh-oh. Okay, I hope that doesn't indicate that there is perhaps a match that goes in her favor unfairly, or something that goes her way that was predetermined unfairly. I'm just thinking back to the injustice cards that we saw in one of the previous readings. I think that was a reading against Coco Gauff. So I wonder what that could be about. Let's see. Let's pull a few more cards. Okay. Tower card in reverse. This is avoiding some sudden disaster. Some crumbling of one's tower is avoided, although sometimes that destruction and rebuilding or that reconstruction may be necessary. So it seems like there is something that Sabalenka is trying to avoid that goes in her favor, but there's something kind of shady about it. This is an arrangement, a deal, an agreement done in the dark, in the shadows, behind the scenes, and the outcome is already predetermined in order for Sabalenka to not lose something of value. So far, that's what we're seeing from the cards. No facts, no truth, just tarot. Not again. Look at that. We've gotten this card for all of the tennis players I've read so far tonight. This is the 4 of Swords, indicating a need for rest and recovery. Usually this is about some sort of mental health strain or concerns, but this can also speak about one's health in general. And as a top athlete, health is, of course, a top priority, both physical and mental health. So it seems like Sabalenka is going to have to rest for some reason, either to recover from stress or to prepare for some upcoming stressors. Ah, the Hermit card. Okay. So after laying low, after being in some sort of solitude and seclusion, this is about someone that is now re-energized and looking to step out into society and be a little more mixy, a little more gregarious, not be on an island all by themselves, which after being in this rest and somewhat of an isolation, naturally once you are re-energized, or you get your focus back, as the Hermit card is usually about stepping away for some spiritual clarity and internal guidance. Now that you have that, you want to step back out and reconnect with society in a way that is favorable and empowering. Wow, what a good time to do it, because it looks like she's gonna win something big with this star card. Now, the star card usually indicates a sense of hope, faith, calmness, but every time I see the star card in my celebrity and athlete readings, it usually indicates an award, a trophy, some major accomplishment in an athlete's career, which is usually like the final big statue or whatever it is that they are competing for, whatever's like the max, the peak of their season. So it seems like Sabalenka is going to stay number one. At least maybe she'll win the French Open or one of the other Grand Slams. She is definitely going to continue being very successful in her career this season. So I guess she got a lot of motivation from her loss at the French Open last year, where she kind of threw a fit against Coco Gauff for winning. But this year, she is just letting her racket talk, because she will be coming out victorious with these awards and recognitions. But these earlier cards lead me to believe, is it always well deserved? Because if there was some shadiness, some predetermined decision in order to avoid a disaster or something meaningful, meaning it means so much to Sabalenka to be number one and stay number one, maybe there may be a cooperative in terms of people cutting corners, assisting her in getting calls in her favor for her to win some things in her way. I mean, with tennis, we see the ball go back and forth. We can see the calls for ourselves. So I'm not sure what that means. I'm just reading the cards for you guys. We'll keep our eyes on Sabalenka this season to see if there's any truth to this. Then we have the Queen of Cups in reverse, indicating someone that is not emotionally stable, or they may be emotionally withdrawn after giving so much of themselves to others or to whatever it is that they were focusing on. They now need a break to refill their own cup. So similar to what we were seeing here in the Four of Swords, this card indicates that Sabalenka may need to take a break to pour into herself, focus on herself. But it could also be saying that she's kind of a volatile, emotionally volatile person to deal with, since we did see some of that impassioned outburst from her last year. I mean, it wasn't that crazy, but it was definitely very rude for her, the way that she was kind of diminishing Coco's win at the French Open last year. So we've seen some of that emotional reaction from her. So maybe this Queen of Cups may just be reinforcing that about her. The emotional volatility, maybe. Oh, wait, hold on. My camera's shaking. She may be the kind of person you got to walk on eggshells with, kind of got to be careful with your words. She may be like a short fuse kind of girl. Oh, interesting. Judgment card in reverse. So this indicates someone that lacks self-awareness and is not taking the appropriate steps, or they have doubts that is preventing them from leveling up, from getting to the next level, from meeting their purpose or their calling. And this Judgment card in reverse, after this Queen of Cups, could be saying that something about her emotional volatility may get the best of her. It may create some blockages or some hindrances in some way. I'll take a few more cards out to see what that means exactly. Oh, intuition, lack of balance. Let me see. I don't know if I'll accept those. I felt a little off energetically, but let me see. Oh, wow, not again. Jeez, there's so many repeat cards, but I guess it's applicable, huh? Yeah, wow. Okay, I'll leave it there. So we saw here, I should probably take that too, actually. Let me see. Yeah. So we saw here the Temperance card indicating a lack of balance. This is an imbalance as well as impatience, painting this image allegedly that Aryna, I'm trying to make sure I say it right, Aryna Sabalenka may be someone that is emotionally imbalanced, emotionally volatile, walk on eggshells, a little more cold instead of warm, a little more selfish instead of a team player, and something about that attitude, that energy, that emotion prevents her from elevating in other areas of her life, because it seems like she'll be doing just fine career wise. But as a person, these cards seem to indicate that Aryna is somewhat cut off from her intuition, her warmth and emotions. And this High Priestess in reverse is once again pointing to something to do with secrets, which we saw at the beginning of the reading. So there's something to do with secrets, gossip, and predetermined decisions to avoid some disaster. So this imbalance can also point to some unfairness, like the imbalance of the scales of justice. We see quite a few different cards in here. I think I saw this one after the High Priestess, which is the 10 of Cups reversed. Usually this indicates that there was some sort of problem, conflict, trauma in one's childhood, in one's family, which is what led to these kinds of personalities, someone being emotionally withdrawn or selfish, or a bit of a tense person that one has to tread carefully with. So that may be trying to explain a little more of the background for Sabalenka in terms of her being a little more ruthless and, you know, determined to win. It means so much more to her to win. It's more than just a win. It's just something that she has had embedded in her since childhood because of whatever conflictive environment or household she came up in, I guess. Where's she from again? Belarus. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know what it's like over there, but I know it's near Russia. And every time we see Russian athletes, they usually are perfectionists because they have so much pressure on them. So I imagine maybe Belarus picks up some of that expectation for their athletes as well. We see the 5 of Pentacles indicating some sort of hardships or setbacks with one's finances or health. This is also another card that repeated a couple times for previous readings that I did on some of the other tennis players. So the worry with this could be that this could indicate an injury. But what I got from this, since it came right after this family turmoil background card, is that the financial need is part of the motivation of why she's so cold and rigid and success focused. It seems to be trying to make up for a lack. There's something that she lacks either financially or emotionally that she seeks to fill that void or overcompensate with her accolades, with her success and perfectionism in her career. Interesting. I don't know much about Sabalenka other than the exchanges she had with Coco Gauff last year, and of course her win today against Naomi Osaka. So surprising to see these things from someone that I didn't know much of. Now the Sun card in reverse indicates some sort of depression or unhappiness. This is, of course, temporary. So this is about a lull or a disappointment, could even be like someone not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, not seeing the outcomes that they wished for. But I'm also once again redirected to this alternative meaning we saw at the beginning of the reading about shadiness. Things are not in the light, they're actually in the shade when we see the Sun card in reverse. Things are not illuminated. So the shadiness that I picked up on from the Moon card in terms of like secrets, gossip, deception, the unknown. There's something here, something being repeated in the theme of these cards so far that indicates that there might be some shady collusion or cahoots between Aryna Sabalenka or her team and someone within the professional tennis world in terms of maybe trying to trying to fix certain games to favor her to get certain outcomes or something. Alternatively, we can just try to assume that that has something to say with something to do with Aryna not exactly being the happiest with the outcome of something, or with some imbalances that she may have in her life, since we did see this temperance card and this indicator of personal love life, family life not being the best. So that may be something that she's very unhappy with, as well as this energy of lack, struggle, hardships that we saw with this Five of Pentacles. But I imagine since she's number one that she's getting her coins right now. So this must be like a wound, like a trauma from childhood that she is constantly chasing to fill that void, as I was saying earlier. And we're reinforcing that indeed her money is good right now with this King of Pentacles. The coins are coinsy. So she is about her business, not surprised. Most Tauruses are. And she also likes to win at any cost. Now, this is once again a repeating theme in these cards, that she's willing to play dirty, that she's willing to be petty in order to get the W. And I just wonder, how does that really affect the outcomes that we see from her in the upcoming matches? Is it that the refs might call things in her favor because of some background arrangements, agreements, and dealings that they may have established for Sabalenka to win because of XYZ? But, you know, we shall see. We'll keep our eyes on the court, because I don't recall if it's as easy to overly, how do you say? I'm thinking about like in other sports like basketball and football, the refs can really influence those games. I'm not sure if it's that easy to do that in tennis, since it's just a 1v1 or a 2v2 in doubles, and the person in the chair has to call it. I know that we have seen some tennis athletes in the past, especially like Serena and Coco, kind of reprimand some of those, I don't know if they call them the refs, but the people that call, you know, fault or whatever they do to call it. I've seen some of that happen in the past, but I don't know how prevalent it is or prolific it is as compared to other sports where there's so many people and so many eyes that you can kind of get away with that more. So I don't know how legit it is, how believable it is that things could be rigged in Sabalenka's favor, which is what we're seeing in these cards so far. And this determination, this pettiness, this desire, this selfishness, this, this deeply wounded person that needs to make up for some other areas of their life with these wins. Of course, it's all alleged. This is no facts, just tarot. But I guess we will see. This final card is the Six of Cups, which is reinforcing that something about Sabalenka's past or her childhood, something to do with emotional connections, her upbringing, her homeland. There's something in that past that has created a version of her that she has not evolved from. So it could be that she's jaded. It could be that she's closed-minded. It could be that she's still affected from childhood traumas. And that is why she is pulling her motivation from a different source. It's not just to be the best athlete, but it's just to fill these voids, cover these wounds, make up for whatever it is that she went without. So I'll leave it there, and I wish you well, Sabalenka. I mean, a win is a win. I hope you continue to win legitimately and rightfully so, with talent and not with rigging things. But we shall see what actually happens in this upcoming grass court season for Aryna Sabalenka. I hope that is the correct way to pronounce that. I wasn't prepared to do a reading for her tonight, but it actually was very appropriate to slip one in. So thank you for that request, Stella. Stella is an angel. I hope you enjoyed that reading. All right, so let's switch off to a reading on the GOAT, Serena Williams. Let me just get a good bridge shuffle in here again and make sure that I'm connected on all platforms. Hold on. Okay, it looks like I'm still connected everywhere. Beautiful. Thank you all for rocking with me still. Ooh, all right. I might have to leave the other readings for tomorrow because it's getting late. All right, so let's pick it up from where I just left off. All right, so let's switch off to do a reading on Serena Jamaica Williams, the GOAT of female tennis. Seems to be coming back. It was just announced today, actually, that she indeed will be playing in the upcoming doubles. I believe it's in Berlin. And of course, people are excited to see Serena return since she was so dominant in the world of tennis in her prime years. And even after she had her first daughter, Alexis Olympia Jr., with her husband Alexis Ohanian, this internet entrepreneur and investor best known for co-founding Reddit, she still came back and was able to win a few things. I saw a cute picture of her holding one of the trophies and her daughter, which is, of course, beautiful and a great representation of the strength of women, right? Even after creating life, sacrificing your body, your health, which is so important for an athlete to have tip-top health, for her to be able to return to that level of competitive athleticism and still get a W. Serena is the GOAT. So she took a few L's shortly after those W's, but now that she is returning, there is a lot of excitement to have someone with that amazing legacy return and bring that excitement and conversation to the world of female tennis. So let's see what's to come for Miss Serena Jamaica Williams, 44 years old, Libra. I forgot to mention that her husband, Alexis Ohanian, he is 43. He is a Taurus. Interesting. I think that's the second time we're seeing a Libra-Taurus combination today, or let me see. That might be coming up, actually. Yeah, I think one of the other couples I'll be reading later on tonight has a similar zodiac makeup. So let's see what the cards have to say about Serena. Spirit, will she be dominating this season? Will she be winning trophies? Will she, as they say, she still got it? Will she show them that she still got it, Spirit? Let's get a few cards out for Serena, who now has 2 daughters with Alexis. So she has 8-year-old Alexis Jr. and 2-year-old Adira. Very nice. Let's get a few cards out for our girl Serena Williams from Compton, California. I might have to switch decks since the cards aren't popping out. Spirit, let's get a few cards out for Serena to round out our tennis readings tonight. Maybe I'm just a little low energy now. Let me see. Let me actually cleanse my decks real quick. Spirit, what is to come for Serena Jamaica Williams? Spirit, let's get a few cards out for Serena. What is to come for her in this exciting return to professional women's tennis? Will she be continuing her legacy as a GOAT, the greatest of all time? Will she be dominant? Will she be rusty? Let's see what the cards have to say about Serena, Spirit. Let's get a few cards out for Serena. Gosh, it's really hot in here. Let me get some hydration. Spirit, what's to come for Serena Williams? Let's get a few cards out for Serena Williams, Spirit. What is to come for the GOAT, Serena Williams? Let's get a few cards out. I might have to switch decks. I know I said that, but okay, there we go. Oh, interesting. So we start off with a card that we just saw in our previous reading on Aryna Sabalenka, this 2 of Swords in reverse, indicating that a tough decision has already been made, and now one feels the relief around that, or it could indicate some predetermined choice or decision, like the outcome is already determined. So let's see what that's about. We have this Nine of Wands in reverse, basically saying that after a period of worry, insomnia, anxiety, all of this energy around something that was unknown, now one feels mental clarity, the relief of knowing for sure. So maybe this has something to do with Serena's anxiety or decision making about returning to the professional world of tennis. And now that she's in it, she's actually feeling much better about that. Sorry, let me just fix my blouse again. Oh, interesting. Then we see the Sun card again in reverse. We saw this in the previous reading as well, indicating that one may be low vitality, low energy. This is about unhappiness, sadness, or possibly even depression. But usually this indicates a temporary lull. So it could be that the emotions, the anxieties around rejoining this highly competitive level of athleticism as a pro female tennis player may have been very stressful for Serena to decide, and she may deal with some disappointments up front. Like maybe her first match doesn't go as good as she wanted, or maybe it does, but there's something around that may be strenuous for her, emotions, or something that would cause her to be sad. I wonder what that could be. Let's get a few more cards out. Okay, pettiness with this Five of Swords. This is someone that's looking to win at all costs, someone that is not thinking far ahead enough to fight fairly, someone that's conflictive. So this could point to something that doesn't go Serena's way, something that's not called her way, some sort of injustice, some sort of unfairness, dealing with a high level of competition, sort of like a competitor that it's more than just tennis, like going back to the history that we saw Serena had, and even some of the more recent athletes that we spoke about tonight had, with racial tensions and that idea of pettiness. So that may be contributing to some sadness or disappointment that Serena has, to witness that things have not changed in the amount of time that she retired or took a break, and that she still has to fight tooth and nail to get her just due, to get her recognition, to get her respect. So that may be, unpleasant for her to re-encounter. This is going 4 for 4. This Four of Swords came out in every reading for all of these tennis superstars tonight, indicating a need for rest and recovery after a stressful period of time or before a stressful period of time. So I guess that's to be expected, because a big part of being a professional athlete is being mentally strong, and this could indicate that mental toughness needs to be nurtured just as much as the physical needs to be trained and nurtured. So all of the 4 professional tennis player ladies that I did readings on tonight seem to be needing that advice or planning for mental rest, mental focus. They know how important that is for this game, for this industry, that sports industry, especially when you're dealing with unfairness, pettiness, conflicts that are called unfairly, injustices, and things that would give one anxiety or disappointment and sadness. Then we're seeing the Moon card in reverse. So this indicates a illusion, a lack of clarity that creates fears, anxieties, and perhaps even some secrets that are being withheld. So we saw a lot of these cards repeating in the previous reading I just did on Aryna Sabalenka. And I wonder if there's a connection there, like whatever secret Aryna Sabalenka or her team or the tennis professional organizers of these tournaments, whatever secret they have, it seems like it might affect something to do with Serena, because I'm seeing some connections there. But alternatively, it could just be that Serena is in her head because she is returning and there is such a high expectation with her amazing legacy of winning all the things. I think she won over 70 something times the Grand Slam tournaments. That's the Australian Open, the French Open, the Wimbledon, and the US Open. She's won those as well as many others several times in all of her years of being a professional female tennis player. So there seems to be a lot of pressure on her, but a lot of it is mental, since we do see the Suit of Swords, which is about the mental, communication, thought process, being cerebral, being logical. And the unknown is, of course, going to exacerbate any sort of anxieties or hesitations and any insomnia or worries. That's what I was looking for. Any worries that one had that caused them to be hesitant to re-enter the sport. So this unknown factor, this secret, this perhaps a change or a lack of change in the industry is perhaps what is giving Serena some pause, some challenge in terms of that's an internal conflict that she has to navigate to try to get on the other side of, or just to learn more about this thing so that she can maneuver and navigate it. Oh, look at that. Ace of Wands upright, some new passion. The universe will present Serena with some great opportunities. So it seems like there will be at least a win here or there. Also, this could be getting started on some new passion. So we know that Serena, with her huge brand, has had many other business ventures like the fashion. I think right now she's doing the GLP, it's like a Ozempic, like a dietary situation, which she was heavily criticized for actually, but it's just an example of yet another avenue, another business stream of income that she explored. And for the people that are interested in that product, it seems like that's doing well for them. But there may be something else that she might lend her face and her brand to, something that she's very passionate about. Then we have the King of Wands. She's a boss. She's a leader. She is charming, courageous, engaging. This is someone who's very powerful. This is someone who's very energized, and this is someone who is a good leader. So indeed, if she is expanding upon her business ventures, it seems like she will be very good at whatever that is. Or if this is about her upcoming entry into this current season of tennis, it seems like she will indeed be dominant, be at the top of her game at some point. After maybe some early disappointment, she will pick up her rhythm, kind of get on the other side of figuring out how some people are playing these days or what the new rules are, whatever this uncertainty and secret is. She's kind of gonna get that spark, that energy, that clarity that she needs to jolt herself into being her best self and taking the lead. So that is great to see for Serena. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see if we can wrap this up. Oh, okay. So let's see. Do I want to end it here? Busy girl has a hard time from walking away from this. Okay, so let me end it here. I refuse to take this card again. This also came out way too many times tonight, and I refuse to believe that Serena is having any financial or health struggles. So I'm going to table this. But if she does get injured, then we kind of see it here with this card. But I'm not going to accept that in this reading because it's too many cards, and I don't want that for my girl Serena. I don't want that for anyone that we did readings on tonight. But we do see some cards repeating. So I think maybe my deck, my cards may have been sticky, even though you guys saw me shuffle it many times. I don't know. It seems like maybe some cards keep on coming out over and over again. So let me put this in the correct order of how they came out and go through them. We have the Devil card in reverse. Freeing oneself from any negative attachments, any bad habits. This could be materialism, this could be vices, this could be codependency, whatever it is. Serena's going to cut it off and kind of get better. So if she perhaps had a previous way of playing, it seems like she's going to get adaptive to what's currently going on in the world of female tennis, and she's going to make adjustments and be better, do better with her game. At least if this is about something in her personal life, then this might be about shedding some habit, some bad influence. That could be like either someone in her coaching staff or someone in her personal life that she cuts off, which she seems to be pretty no nonsense in her social life. So I doubt that it would be someone that's like, you know, a toxic friend or something. It would more so be either someone in her like coaching business team or something to do with her game with this devil card in reverse. Then we see the Four of Cups upright. This is about dissatisfaction, maybe some sort of disappointment, something that requires contemplation and self-reflection for one to decide how they truly feel about this. So you have something that you kind of sort of were building with, that you kind of sort of felt a little something for. It could be a person, since the Suit of Cups is about emotions, and you're hesitant to receive more of that. You're kind of like, is this really worth whatever it was supposed to be? Because I've lost interest. Now, since this was, was it in reverse or was it upright? Yeah, I guess it was upright. So this dissatisfaction and disinterest is repeating one of the messages that we were seeing earlier in the cards, that whatever this disappointment was that could create sadness or the reverse of that, being unhappy, unpleased, displeased with the outcome of something, that is going to cause her to think, reapproach, make adjustments, and ultimately have her way, since we have this Magician card upright afterwards, indicating that one has all of the power, the skills, the tools, the abilities, the charms, the knowledge, everything one needs in order to manifest whatever it is they want. So if Serena is coming into this with the intention and the desire to be dominant, which we do see that she may indeed reach that with this King of Wands that we saw earlier in the cards, she's got what it takes. She definitely has what she needs in order to accomplish that. She just has to beware of this frustration and chaotic energy that we see with the Knight of Wands. Anything about returning to old habits, since we did see breaking free from any old habits or past attachments. But since we're seeing the Knight of Wands does visualize someone from the past coming back, or something from her past resurfacing. Maybe there is something that gave her a hard time in the past that repeats in her game. I don't remember what that was because she was so great at everything. So I don't know like what her handicap is. You know, she's stronger with this instead of that. Whatever it is, she just has to control her temper, keep her cool. Do not let the chaos of frustration and anger blind you and get the best of you. And, you know, don't let it make you too impulsive, Serena, so that you can kind of keep cool and approach things, of course, with passion, but without this energy going in the wrong direction, sort of blinding you to your strengths and, you know, leaning into that, being focused as the amazing athlete that you are. So then we finish here with the Eight of Cups in reverse, indicating someone is having a hard time leaving behind something or someone of value. See, here they are walking up the mountain, kind of leaving behind this meaningful relationship with a person, with a career choice, with something that they once loved that no longer serves them. It's hard for them to step away from that. So something is keeping you attached to this goal, this dream, this person. It seems like because Serena may experience disappointments in not getting some wins, she will get some wins, but the ones that she doesn't get, those are going to bother her in terms of she's going to continue to chase the victories in other ways. So it's like, if I don't win here, I'm going to keep it going until I win there, or whatever it is that she's not letting go. It may actually be working against her. This may be like a somewhat of an ego thing, that she's trying to prove something to herself by overextending her pursuit of some accolades in this upcoming tennis season, or maybe even extending it even further. She's having a hard time leaving it behind, and she is very busy. She's juggling so many things at once, perhaps even spreading herself too thin, since this Two of Pentacles is in reverse. Juggling two things. Very Tennessee, right? The visual here. Trying to pull what else this is saying instead of the literal meaning of juggling two things, being busy. So usually this is about someone juggling two or more financial opportunities, two or more things or people of value. I wonder, this could also be saying, I'm seeing like a ball going back and forth, back and forth. Is it that maybe there might be one game that, like, it kind of goes out of her hands? I'm seeing like the racket goes out of her hands, the ball goes out of her hands. Something goes out of control in terms of like, she thinks that it should be called in her favor, but it's not, because it legitimately goes out of, I don't know if it's the range, I don't know if it's like something with the racket, but there's something that slips in the same way that, like in basketball, because I'm more familiar with viewing basketball games, you'll have like a Butterfingers moment, and that leads to a steal or a turnover. It seems like this is indicating that there may be a match where something similar may happen, like something happens with the racket or something happens with the ball. Think about imbalance and, things just kind of going out of control, losing direction in some ways, what I'm getting from that. And I think I will leave it there. We did see this 10 of Swords in reverse, resisting a painful ending, and this 5 of Pentacles that I mentioned earlier, indicating some sort of hardships and setbacks with finances or health. If there is an injury, that could be indicating something about, those cards could be indicating something about that. But I think I want to leave it there for Serena. I just always like to take a look, because when I'm editing these, I'm always curious, like, wait, what was under the deck? Don't pick up the cards yet. So that is what I'm getting for Serena. I hope that she has a great season. I hope that she indeed impresses us with her amazing games and victories. And while she would probably hope for a flawless season with no losses, I hope that she doesn't beat herself up too much for anything that slips through her fingers and is maybe not exactly her fault or out of her control. Don't let the hot-headedness, don't let the passion get the best of you, Serena. Keep your cool and get some rest. Keep your mental sharp, my girl. Okay. So I'm going to do one more reading before I switch over to the other topics, which I might have to leave for tomorrow because I ran a little longer. I went a little deeper with these readings than I usually do. I was very interested. I hope you were too. And I might leave those tomorrow when my energy is refreshed. But to finish off tonight, I will do a reading on who will win the NBA Finals. Will it be the New York Knicks? Will it be the San Antonio Spurs for all of my basketball fans? Oh, you know what? Let me just give it a little more of a shuffle, because once again, seeing some repeat cards here, and these cards are kind of stiff. Let me make sure I'm so... Yeah, this deck got wet a couple months ago. So ever since then, it's been really tough to shuffle, and it's sticky. but I love this deck. I get great readings from it, and so I'm still trying to preserve it and persevere and squeeze out more readings from it. And also, it's very nice with my nails, with my tennis themed nails tonight. So I'm trying to push through, make it work, and bring it back to life. All right. I think that was a good enough shuffle. You know what? I'll do one more for good measure because we want some very clear messages on this next reading that I'm about to do. All right, here we go. Come on, mouse. Oh, the mouse is acting up. Here we go. All right, so let's switch. Oh, no. There we go. Yeah. All right, so let's switch into a reading on who will win the NBA Finals. Will it be the New York Knicks or will it be the San Antonio Spurs? How exciting to have a rematch of the two teams that were in the finals back in 1999. So 27 years later, this is the first time the Knicks is making an appearance in the finals. And they're going against the same team that beat them last time. So there is so much history and additional motivation for this amazing New York Knicks team that, just as I predicted, for those of you that saw my Karl Anthony Towns reading, they won the Eastern Conference Finals. I knew that back in February. Get with me if you're trying to place those bets. Get your parlays. Just kidding. All of these readings are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth. Just tarot. But I am kind of batting 3 for 3. Got the Super Bowl right. I predicted the New York Knicks winning the ECF. And also the Spurs. I knew the Spurs was going to win the Western Conference Finals. So only naturally, we should take a look to see what the cards have to say about who's going to win the actual NBA Finals of 2026 between these two very exciting teams. Now, over in New York, we have a really amazing team that has been developed over the past few seasons under the great guidance of Leon Rose, the president of the New York Knicks organization, who has done a phenomenal job in selecting talent as well as coach and I'm assuming executives as well for the organization. And now it's all lining up and going to result in very exciting and perhaps highly rated in terms of viewership, highly rated NBA Finals. Over in the West, we have the Wembanyama, the alien from France, the tallest guy in the basketball league. His name is Victor Wembanyama. Some of you saw me circulating my TikTok promo for this stream with his face yesterday before they went on to win their game 7 against OKC, because as I said, I already knew he was gonna win, and he did. Very, very emotional win for Victor Wembanyama, and beautiful to witness that victory for him, that heartfelt, how do you say that? Yeah, heartfelt victory for Wemby and his teammates. So both teams are coming into this finals with a lot of heart, with a lot of gusto, with a lot of grit, with a lot of desire to get the W, to get the chip, to get the ring. Spurs coming as the best of the West. The Knicks coming as the beasts of the East. So let's see what the cards have to say about who will win the actual NBA Finals this year. Because for those of you that didn't see my Karl Anthony Towns reading, it was clear that Towns was going to win something, either the ECF or the finals or both. But then there was a card, I believe it was the World card in reverse, that gave me some mixed messages, because that could either indicate they only win the ECF and they don't win the finals, or that world card in reverse could have been indicating something to do with a trade, an upcoming trade for Cat. So let's get some clarification now with the current energy on who will win the NBA Finals. Will it be the best in the West, the San Antonio Spurs, or the beasts of the East, the New York Knicks? Spirit, let's start with the Spurs. Spirit, will the Spurs win the NBA Finals? Uh-oh. This is starting with the Five of Wands in reverse, indicating that after a period of competition and conflict, there is now collaboration and cooperation. So there is some good teamwork amongst the Spurs teammates. It seems to be indicated in that first card. Oh, Knight of Swords in reverse. So there may be something about their defense that may not be as strong as necessary, or that may fall apart with this Knight of Swords card in reverse. This could also indicate that maybe there is too much haste, too much speed that works against them, since they are a younger team. Maybe they are not as experienced in the playoffs as the current New York Knicks are, and so they try to overcompensate by moving fast, and that may actually result in some losses for them. Moving fast could lead to more fouls called. Moving fast could indicate that there's more turnovers. So there's something about speed, haste, maybe overlooking certain things in that speed and haste that might work against them, and something about defense that may need to be reworked or not be strong enough. But at least the team is gelling, the team is working together, they are cooperative, they are collaborative. Okay, High Priestess in reverse. Uh-oh, I hope it's not messy behind the scenes with some gossip, or there's something about a lack of intuition. So the way I would interpret this card in this kind of reading would be that there may be some hesitation, some second guessing of one's decision to go for a certain shot. They might be a little more conservative with their game, or they might be overzealous. They might be making more shot attempts, since we do see this card indicating speed and haste. They might make so many shot attempts out of anxiety, out of the reverse of hesitation, according to this High Priestess card, because they're not aligned with their instincts. In terms of, when you think of intuition, that's like an instinctual thing that is supposed to help guide one's decisions. So it seems like the Spurs' disadvantage will be something about their youth, their inexperience is going to cause them to be a bit impulsive with their decisions, and moving fast, making mistakes, and not being good enough defensively. Oh, disappointment, heartbreak, defeat with this Three of Swords. So it seems like either this is saying the Spurs will not win the finals, or something about game 3. This could be that they lose 3 games. This could be that game 3, which I believe game 3 will be in New York. Maybe it's saying something about the game 3 itself, not 3 games necessarily, but the third game in that series might be lost. But if that's the case, then I have to see a few more cards, because I was going to pause it there. Ooh, Lover's card, lots of decisions to make. Here's the Swords, Page of Cups. Something's telling me to actually leave it here and pull cards for the Knicks now. So based off of this first row of cards, it does not indicate that the Spurs will win. So let's see now if we get some clarity on if the Knicks will win. Spirit, let's get a good shuffle in to get some clear cards, some clear messages on if the New York Knicks will win this upcoming finals. Oh, should I take that? Uh-oh, nope. I'm going to continue to shuffle, because those are some repeat cards from the previous. Yes, let's do a much better shuffle here to pull a few additional cards to see. Oh. Will the New York Knicks finally, for the first time in 27 years, win the NBA Finals? Look at me with my Knicks blue on, okay? I am rooting for the Knicks, even if I don't want to, because all the people around me are Knicks fans. So, or even if they're not fans, even if they're not from New York, they're kind of rooting for them. I guess there's like a perception that they're somewhat of the underdog because of how long they've gone without winning, and because of how underestimated they've been as a team in all of these years of rebuilding. A lot of people have not given the Knicks the recognition or the respect or the shout outs that they deserve, now being a championship team, a contender for the championship. And definitely seems like this year they are the beasts of the East. So let's get a few cards out, Spirit. Let me know, will the Knicks, the New York Knicks, win the NBA Finals? I'm just getting excited even thinking about it. The energy right now is telling me yes, they will. But let's see what the cards say, Spirit. Let me get a few cards out to see, will the New York Knicks win the NBA Finals? Will they be able to beat Wemby? Uh-oh, what popped out here? Let's see. Uh-oh, Judgment in reverse. So this is usually about someone not able to meet their calling or their purpose. So while it is intended for one to level up and reach a certain height, there is some obstruction or limitation to that, in terms of this could indicate that either there's a lack of self-reflection and self-awareness when this is about an individual. But in a game, this idea of calling, the way the game is called, it seems like that may be against them. The New York Knicks may have a lot of calls against them. We've seen that in a lot of NBA games, unfortunately, where it seems that the refs will conveniently call a game, call the fouls, call the calls in favor of one team and against another. So we're starting off with that card against the Knicks. But then we have the sun. Wow. This is about happiness, joy, victory, celebration. Wow. So they will overcome whatever hindrances the Knicks experiences because of all of these calls going against them. They will still get on the other side of that, and they'll still be the beasts of the East. So they'll make up for that by making more shots. They'll make up for that with stronger defense, since we did see that the Spurs are supposedly going to have weaker defense. As a reminder, these cards are for entertainment purposes only. No facts, no truth, just tarot. So it's just for fun, people. Relax. Then we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So this is somewhat repeating something that we saw in the first row, where I looked to see if the Spurs will win it. There's something about game 3. So maybe there's a loss in game 3, or this could be saying something about, like, socially there's might be too many chefs in the kitchen, because when we see the Three of Cups in reverse, for an individual, it indicates that someone may be socializing too much to where it's working against them. Maybe their friend group is gossiping about them or giving them misinformation. There's a level of distraction here from one's social group or network. So in this case, we could consider this to be in a team setting. There may be some distracting elements. There may be too many chefs in the kitchen, people stepping on each other's toes, someone trying to be a ball hog, or someone not communicating properly to their teammate how to set up a play. There's something there within the team that's going to be like one on top of the other, versus in the Spurs, we saw more gelling, more cooperation amongst the teammates. Oh, Eight of Cups, walking away from something that no longer serves them. Interesting. Eight of Cups. So This is about a need to step away from something, but you're stuck to it because of the history, because of the comfort. So maybe it's going to take a while for the Knicks to adapt their game to the Spurs. We saw in the series against the Atlanta Hawks at the beginning of the playoffs that they lost the first two games, the Knicks did, against the Atlanta Hawks. But shortly after that, they were able to learn the game, how Atlanta was playing it, and make the adjustments needed to beat them. So I wonder if this is saying that it's just going to take them a minute to make those adjustments to figure out how to strengthen their weaknesses. Lover's card. This is about making great choices, great long-term choices. This is about positivity. This is about harmony. And because we saw the Sun card, it's feeling like they're gonna win. Oh my God, how exciting! Go New York, go New York, go. Knicks in 6, Knicks in 6. No, I am not being biased. You see what the cards are saying. I'm just excited if it's true. Okay, so we have the King of Swords. Someone's not making the best decision. So right after we see good decision making, then we see someone in a position of leadership not making the best decisions. Someone that may be manipulative, someone that may lose control. So maybe there'll be a situation where the coach, Mike Brown, might have to pop off on one of the refs for something that wasn't called right. But that's a part of the game, I guess. Okay, lack of passion with this Ace of Wands in reverse. So it may be that someone gasses out. One of the stars, Brunson, OG, Cat, Bridges, who else? Shamit has really been stepping up. But someone might lose their energy, and this could also extend to an injury. So if there's someone that gets injured that has to be benched, that might be a hindrance to the team. They might kind of lose some of their, what do you call that? Going into something with that momentum. That's what I would say. It might impact the Knicks' momentum a bit if one of their stronger players is injured or overworked for some reason in order to compensate for someone else that is injured. So this is about something being draining. And a lack of balance is starting not to feel like it's them. Okay, this is about growth and expansion. I was looking for the star card. Oh, look at that. King of Wands. Leaders, winners. So I'm surprised that I didn't see the star card anywhere, but I will receive that. Okay. So to finish off this reading, we saw the Three of Wands upright, indicating that the Knicks has their eyes on growth, expansion, and success. This is about taking some existing success and growing beyond that. So they got the ECF. That's not good enough. They want to go all the way with this Three of Wands card. They have their eye on their prize. We want the most, not just dominating New York. We want the world. We want the chip, the nationwide recognition, not just being the best here in the East. So we finished with this King of Wands. This is about power. This is about leadership. This is about victory. Could this be Brunson? I know Brunson is a Virgo, so he is an earth sign. This is about a fiery energy, but because this is about leadership, look at this crown. Look at the poise. We always see Brunson is very conservative in his post-game interviews, very poised and keeping his cool, keeping control of his emotions and his energy, not being too fiery and too animated. So this could indeed be Brunson being the captain, being the leader in receiving the win gracefully or leading the team to victory, putting up all of those points that will help carry them. Maybe Brunson might even be the one that is overcompensating for one of the players that might either be injured or have to be taken out. But for the most part, it does indeed seem that the Knicks will win. How exciting! You guys, of course, come back and let me know if that's exactly what happened. I too will keep an eye on the outcome of this final series. And remember, this is just for fun, just for entertainment. It could be wrong. Maybe the Spurs will take it. Wemby is definitely a problem. When he could just pick the ball up and put it right here to put it in the hoop because he's so tall. That's how close he is to the hoop. I mean, they definitely have to come stronger. The Knicks has to come stronger with their defense and their plays. I guess they have to get much stronger from the perimeter, since he's going to be able to get it in the hoop with ease. I guess they got to really hope that indeed there are some defensive or pace issues from the Spurs. At this point, it seems like whichever team loses beats themselves, because going into this, it looks like they both are indeed excellent teams. So we will see how they match up. Who has strengths, who has weaknesses, what does each team need to work on? And does the rock beat the scissors? Or will the paper come in? So let's see how this finals plays out. You guys come back. Let me know if indeed the New York Knicks win it all. Go blue and orange. Let's go. Shout out to Wemby, though. He seems to be playing with a lot of heart. He seems to be a great new young talent in the league, and he will definitely be one to watch for the coming years. Let's see what the chat is saying. Javi said, it has been 27 years since the Knicks got to the finals. It's been longer than 27 years since they've won the NBA finals. That's right, actually. It's been 50-something years. Javi said, the Knicks won 2 championships in 1970 and 1973. Look at that. Thank you for those data points, Javi. That is very helpful. So it means that much more for the New York Knicks fans to get this multi-decade W after not winning since the 70s. Now it's going to be, let's see, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. 53 years since their last win, 1973. Wow. Look at that. And that's amazing that we still have, are there still a few of those players alive from that championship, Javi, from the 1970s? Is the Frazier guy, I forget the full name. Is it Walt Frazier? Clive Frazier? Is he from that championship team? And he gets to witness the Knicks go all the way. I hope so. Either him or some of the others other legacy Knicks players that helped give the trophy to Brunson and the Knicks team when they won the ECF. There was Patrick Ewing, and who else? I think the other one is the one that I just mentioned. So indeed, this is going to be one for the record, for the history books, for those of the fans of basketball, the basketball lovers. They will have a great finals championship series to watch starting in just a couple days. So circle back and let me know how it turns out, you guys. So I'm actually going to take a break here, switch to the second stream either later tonight or tomorrow once I get all my energy back. And at that point, we will be doing readings on Jay-Z and Drake, because there's something getting a little beefy there with clapbacks and disses, all in the music, of course, nothing in person yet. Just kidding. Hopefully it does not get physical. Hopefully it does just stay in the music. But after a recent performance that Jay-Z did this past weekend, there is a lot of fodder and chatter and opinions and backlash, maybe even, for some of the things that Jay-Z said in a freestyle that seemed to have a lot of disses for many people including the one, the only, the boy, Drizzy Drake, after he released the Iceman album, which has been wildly successful, but it also had a few disses or bars for Jay-Z and many other rappers in the industry. So definitely got to pull a few cards on that. We'll also be doing a reading on the pop star Dua Lipa, who just got married this past weekend. And we will pull some cards on the highly requested Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra marriage to see what is the update on the energy in their relationship, since some of their fans are concerned that they may not last. So we'll see what the cards say about that. So let me just wrap it up here, my friends. Taking one more look at the chat, see if there's anything else urgent that I missed. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate you for hanging out with me. Thank you. Okay, just make sure everything is good so I can wrap up this stream. Thank you. Yes, I did tennis balls tonight, since I mostly did mini special for the powerful, successful ladies in females tennis at the beginning of the night. And then I slipped in the highly excitable match, or I guess you wouldn't call it a match, the very exciting upcoming series, finals, NBA finals series between the New York Knicks and Spurs, which we just finished that reading, and the cards say the Knicks are gonna win. So let's see what happens. All right. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to be notified of when I do these streams. Of course, be in touch if you'd like a personal reading. The link is in bio. Thank you all for your likes, for your hearts, for your comments, for your support. Big hearts right back at you. As a small and new creator, it means so much. So thank you. Hearts right back from my peoples. I wish you all abundance and illumination. May divine light radiate through your life. Keep shining. Thank you. Yeah, see you on the next stream with the pop girlies and the hip hop guys. All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye.